Hello, I'm Kathy Bissell. Welcome to the Golf Show 2.0 recap from the U.S. Open with Gary VanSickle. Gary, I know you have a theory about figuring out who can win based on the leaderboard. So why don't you kind of give us your ideas on that?
My theory is whoever I bet on won't win. So
I know that.
I've got bets on almost everybody up there, so I don't know what the heck that means. I think somebody's going to shoot 57 and come from way behind. Well, no, I have two theories. Going into Sunday, I usually erase whoever the leader is and see how that changes the scoreboard. Doesn't really change it much today. You'd only be picking up a shot, but a lot of times if a player has a 2 or 3 shot lead, if you take them out of it, because they often back up, all of a sudden somebody who was 7 shots back is only 4 back, and hey, they got a chance. My other theory is you look at the top 10 or 12 player, anybody who's sort of within reason can win. Look at the pedigree. Who's the best player on the board? And if you're going to bet, that's a good way to bet things. Who's the best player? Now, you don't know, would this have helped in 1973 at Oakmont when Johnny Miller was 6 back behind the likes of Nicholas Palmer, Trevino, Player, Julius Boros?
He was an outlier.
It doesn't always work, but
yeah.
So I'm torn. You're torn between who's the best player and who's playing the best, and you think can finish it off. And because it's Oakmont, I don't know if any of those theories apply.
Well, nobody's
Oakmont is kicked all over their butts all week. Everybody.
Yeah. Nobody's playing the best. It's impossible to play well at Oakmont, and nobody's shooting this 63. Well, we don't know. It's not.
Well, it's soft enough. It's soft enough somebody could.
Yes.
But I think they know it's soft. I think you noticed today the pins were substantially more difficult because they knew the greens were softer. I think you'll see that. They know how to defend par here at Oakmont, so don't worry.
Yes, they do. They do a good job of it. So we've got Sam Burns and Adam Scott and JJ Spawn, and Sam is at the top at 4 under, and Adam Scott and JJ are at 3 under. And so
Victor Hovland's at 1 under.
And so for anybody to beat Sam Burns, they're going to have to shoot better than 66 if Sam shoots even par, right?
Right, but back to my theory.
Yeah.
The guy leading a major, who's especially if he's never won one, doesn't usually go out and play his best golf.
And so that means we should look down the leaderboard too. Ta-da!
I don't know. Are you asking me who's my pick to win?
Well, on this leaderboard, where would you go if you had to pick somebody who wasn't at the top?
Well, Adam Scott has won a Masters and a Players Championship, but not lately.
I know.
And he has this big streak of consecutive major championships, but his only top 10 in his last 22 majors is a tie for 10th in last summer's British Open. So he's in all the majors. He's not doing anything in them.
Yeah.
He also uses the long putter, although he did win a Masters with it. So I don't know if that matters or not, but he would be the guy with the resume on the board. Here you go. He's been there. He's done it before. He's also 44.
Yeah, that's the problem.
It gets harder as you get older because you know how much it means. It means so much more to you. It's like you think, oh, it's my last shot. Not that I know.
Is there such a thing as old person nerves? Do people get more nervous as they get older when they're
when you realize you have fewer chances? Yeah, you see it all the time.
Okay, well, then that's against him. But who else is there? You have to go all the way down to +4.
If you're just going to go by resume, then not a lot. I think you have to look at how they've played this week, how they've played the course. Look, I thought Ben Griffin I was going to pick Ben Griffin to win it at halfway through the round today, and he bogeyed. I want to say he bogeyed.
He was in a bunker somewhere.
He put himself 8 spots back. He killed himself. Several guys backed up so badly that somehow Scotty Scheffler his name appeared in the bottom of the first page of the leaderboard, and he was having a tantrum the other day. So he's 8 shots back. He could he'd have to shoot 62, 61, and
There'd
he
have to
hasn't looked comfortable on this golf course at all.
No, he hasn't. And there'd have to be a whole lot of backing up by all the players and by 10 players.
Well,
10 people would have to just self-destruct, and they could do it on Oak.
Oh, yeah, they absolutely could. Look, J.J.
They could
Spawn's tied for the lead going to 18. He's, it's one of those big boy shots. You got to sack up and hit the fairway in 18, fan it out to the right dead, and then he's got a big par putt on 18 to save par. And let's face it, the one problem he had at the Players' Championship was when he got close, he gets timid with the putter. He leaves putts short. And what did he do at 18 today? He left the putt short. That said, he's played great for 3 days.
Yes,
he almost won the Players. I have no reason to think he can't win tomorrow. But he's got a problem with the putter under pressure, leaving him short. But he might not have to hold 18 putts. You might have to just two-putt everything.
Right.
So why don't we quit being wishy-washy and start saying, making our picks, who's going to win and who's not going to win? You start. Who's going to win? Who's your number one pick to win?
Adam Scott. And after that, Victor Hovland.
Why Adam Scott?
Because he's won before, because he's playing well, because he has the best swing in golf, and because he's comfortable in his own skin now. He may not have been earlier, but he is
comfortable
now.
In someone else's skin, but he got it. What you're saying?
He's got the only living.
A lot of cliches here.
And he has the only living swing that is what Tiger Woods' swing used to be.
Well, he birdied 3 of the last 6, which that's being clutch. I like that.
Well, we need him to birdie 3 of the last 6 tomorrow. That's when it's going to count.
Right. So your second pick to win is
Victor Hovland,
my fellow Norwegian.
Yes, your fellow Norwegian, and I like him.
Lefse eater.
Well, my mother was Finnish, as you know, so I'm partial to that part of the world. Victor.
So you're letting a person's race of color you're making? What?
No, I'm letting the fact that he made a putt for $20 million affect my judgment. He's the only one on the leaderboard who's done that. He won the Tour Championship and all the money one year, and you're going to get nervous over that kind of a putt, I think. At least all of the players who have done it say they get nervous.
All right.
Even if he is Norwegian.
I'm going to, my pick to win is, I hate to take chalk, but I'm going with one of the top 3 putters in golf, and that's Sam Burns.
Oh, well.
He's played great since the 65 yesterday. He played great today. His short game is great. Remember, he shot 62 last week to get in the playoff in Canada, which he lost because he had to sit around for 2.5 hours for them to finish. Let's stack up his putting against Adam Scott's.
Against everybody. Against everybody on the leaderboard.
Against everybody. So I'm going with the putter, and he's just got to keep it in play off the tee. He's a Ryder Cupper. He's been on the big stage.
Yep.
I know he hasn't done much in majors, but
he's an FOS.
Look who he's got. He doesn't have to beat Scotty Scheffler and Rory McIlroy.
Right. Exactly.
And Seve Ballesteros today. He's got to beat J.J. Spawn.
Right.
So that's my pick.
And Adam Scott and Victor Hovland. So
yeah. Well, and some others. I'm going to have to look at the board again. Is there anybody else up there that I want to?
Mark Leishman might be a threat. He's also a good putter, and he's a good ball striker.
Victor is hitting it both ways. Has a 2-way miss today, so I didn't like that.
Well, maybe he'll fix it by tomorrow.
I tell you what, I'm just waving to Alan Shipnuck as he departs.
Okay.
Legendary book writer and author. I'm going to say, well, I think J.J. Spawn can actually do this. But for the sake of a more entertaining show, how could this Terrell Hatton, I hadn't realized this until I thought about him. If you were making a list of the best players in the world who haven't won a major yet,
He'd be on it.
Might be number one.
I don't know if
I
he'd
don't
be
know
number
who'd
one.
be ahead
But he
of him.
might be on it.
Who'd be ahead of him? Victor, I guess.
Victor?
But Victor's hardly been around. Hatton's been around 10 years. So, anyways, he's a great iron player. And he had a great day today. He brought it back. His only problem is he's got a Tasmanian devil living in his head. Things go awry, but if he can harness that thing,
he can harness the Tasmanian devil. He might be okay.
He's got a
here's a question. Here's a question we have to ask. Why does Oakmont do this every time?
Do what?
They make a course that is so hard for people to play that well, you have the theory on that too, on the setups.
Well, the USGA learned or didn't learn in the 70s and 80s. I mean, it happened after Johnny Miller shot 63 here.
Okay.
The next year we had the massacred Wingfoot. They were going to make damn sure nobody shot another 63. And they're back in the days where even par was what they want. I mean, par was a precious score. They didn't, they did have an attitude back then. So in the 70s, when you make a golf course so difficult that nobody can make birdies, that negates ability, and it brings the best players back to the pretty good players. I mean, this is how I made it through U.S. Open local qualifying. I was playing at Yale, which is a stupid hard course. The yardage books were wrong. Only I knew where the 150 markers were, and the greens were aerated. So the good players couldn't make birdies, but I was good enough to make pars. So they squashed us together, and I outlasted some other guys in the 6-for-1 playoff, which is a terrible analogy, but it's what you did. And so in the 70s, you had Lou Graham. You favored plotting ball strikers, hit fairways and greens, and make pars. And the Johnny Millers and Tom Watsons and John Mahaffey's and these guys, and Lanny Watkins, that didn't play to their strength. So you took the edge off it. And I would say this week we're close to having something similar. Okay, I understand if Scotty Scheffler or Rory McIlroy has an off week or just doesn't agree, Oakmont doesn't agree with them.
Yeah.
But when 12 out of the world's top 15 players or whatever it is either are not even in contention or missed the cut.
Yeah, there's something wrong.
It's not a coincidence.
There's something wrong.
I don't like that there wasn't much of a, you're off the fairway and there's one little swath of first cut, as the Masters calls it, and then you're right into the jungle.
Yeah.
I saw guys hit balls in the fairway and they caught a slope and ran into the deep stuff. The guy hit the fairway. That's not right. He should be not penalized as severely as a guy who hit it 30 yards offline. And then the same on the greens. Right off the green, there wasn't enough, 2.5 inch rough instead of 5.5 inch rough. And you severely punished a ball that caught a slope and ran off again. And you negated chip. Nobody is going to chip great out of this stuff. You're just
it's impossible.
And hoping. So Scotty Scheffler lost an edge there, and it just maddens everybody. So if you're the USGA, you're probably happy with their scores are. Are you happy with the great players on the leaderboard? Your guy at home hasn't heard 10 of them.
Right.
What you want? I don't know. That doesn't mean it's bad. I'm just saying it's not a coincidence. You, as they say on the internet, and I'll clean it up, you mess around and find out. That's my theory. I could be wrong.
No, I think you're right. I suppose it can still be an exciting tournament, but Rory McIlroy's not in it. Scotty Scheffler is so far down that the top 9 players and ties have to fall over dead on the way around the golf course for him to have a chance.
Well, I remember the Masters when they had very firm conditions so bad that nobody could hit the greens. It became a chipping contest. Well, who won that twice? Gosh, Jose Maria Olazabal. What a coincidence. You have a U.S. Open where it's, you need to be a premier scrambler to survive. Nobody can hit the fairways and hit the greens. It's a scrambling contest. Well, Andy North is a little known fact, but I was his guy. He's one of the best scramblers in history. He won a pair of U.S. Opens, and was in contention a couple other times. This is what Scott Simpson edged Tom Watson at
Yes.
Olympic Club. That
Yes.
17th hole, ball wouldn't stay in a fairway. I mean, you've
Yes.
got to give players, better players, a chance to separate themselves. And if you make everybody chip out sideways, you're negating a
If
sunny
everybody's
guy
chipping
there,
on
so maybe
sideways,
you get a shot.
yeah, then skill has nothing to do with it. It's luck.
Well, yeah, there's no skill involved in hitting a 50-yard wedge shot out of the thick rough.
Right.
There would be skill if a guy was really good. He could maybe get it up around the green. Or even better, you tempting to go for the green and maybe get in worse trouble.
Oh, they're not going to be tempted here.
I mean, DeChambeau was the only guy who could even try to muscle out of there, and that didn't work either. As Johnny Miller said today, you had to be in the fairway, and the guys who lived in the rough like DeChambeau, well, he can watch at home on TV today.
That's right.
So, and he wasn't the only one. So I don't know. It's a debate whether this course did that, but I think the numbers of the world's top players who did poorly indicated, there's a trend there. But there's such a fine line. The top couple of guys, I mean, once you get from past the top 5, is there that much difference from number 6 to number 40? Probably not.
Probably not.
This theory could be a total crock. Thanks for watching this show.
Okay, with Total Croc, signing off, I guess.
What else? We were going to pick players who can't win, but I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I think because there's 3 guys up there, it'd be very hard for somebody to come from 7 or 8 back, even though I wrote a story about that for SI.com tonight and included some of those guys. But if you're 8 shots back and you're chasing 1 guy, you can do it. But when you're chasing 3 guys,
yeah, they're not all 3 going to fall down.
Even if they do, you still have to shoot the low round of the week. So far, that's only 65. And I don't know what the weather is. I didn't check.
If somebody shoots at 65 tomorrow and they're in the top 11, I think they've got a good chance of winning. But so far, 65s have not been really common. Even 66s haven't been really common.
Well, you would think if they were going to shoot a good score, today was the day because the greens were softer. But the pins were more difficult, and it was breezy at times, and a couple little 3-minute showers messed everybody up a little. I don't know.
Well, it's also
day, it's Oakmont. Nobody leaves happy.
You're right.
Except the media yesterday, when the media dining room brought in Chipotle at about 7 o'clock. So all the media left happy yesterday.
Do they leave happy today?
No
Chipotle today?
I know that was a one-time. That was a miracle. That was a miracle. It was an act of God. That'll never happen again.
It's like Johnny Miller's 63, huh?
Right. And we're not here to discuss media dining habits. We're here to discuss a real major championship. So, I mean, I think, Adam Scott's the only guy who, if he wins, is really going to make a dent in history because he's already won 2 majors.
Yeah.
That moves him up. Everybody else is really gunning for their first one. We're not going to, we got spoiled by Tiger and Phil piling up majors and going for history.
Yes.
And that's just not how it is. We had Rory getting the Grand Slam this year.
Which was incredible.
Right, that's over. And Scheffler's not in them. I mean, there's aren't many guys who've won majors. Not many guys who win multiple majors.
No, there aren't. There never have been.
Many who have a shot at this one either. So.
How about
somebody's cheering here in the media room. I don't know why.
They're cheering because of what you said, I'm sure.
No, I think they're probably. I don't know. I can't. I'm not allowed. Did
you see Jack Nicklaus out spectating today?
I didn't see him spectating. He was in here for a press conference with Johnny Miller at 9:30 this morning that I was unaware of until 35 minutes before they had it, and I'm 40 minutes. I live 40 minutes away, so I didn't get here for that. I would love to have said hi to Johnny. I used to ghostwrite stories for him for Golf World, so I used to know him pretty well, but I haven't talked to him in a while. Once he retired as TV analyst, he kind of told us all, it's like, Yeah, don't call me up for interviews to comment on this and that because I'm not in. I don't want to. I'm out of it. I don't want to be involved anymore. I don't. I mean, I'd love to. I like hearing from you, but I don't want to. I don't need to be part of stories anymore and comment like I'm an expert. So I don't call him. I know I got his number, but I don't call him. I don't call
Well,
anybody. I feel about. I feel the same way about phones as Fred Couples did.
there
He
might be somebody on the other.
I don't answer the phone on account of somebody might be on the other end.
Exactly.
So
Great all-time comment by Fred.
Fred, that and his dark shot comment. He was the dark shot one week. Any final words? Who do you want to win? Much less who do you think will win?
I'd be really pleased if either Adam Scott or Victor Hovland won, just
Yeah, you're
because
going for the best looking guys. Got it.
there's nothing wrong with that.
I didn't say there was.
But I'd also be happy for Sam Burns. I mean, it would be thrilling.
Whoever wins,
Anybody.
it'll be a big deal.
Yeah, and I don't know if I don't know very much about JJ Spawn, even though he was here and was in a playoff for the Players Championship earlier this year. I mean, you have to have some game to do that.
His mother was an avid golfer, so much so that she got permission from her doctor to keep playing golf into her 8th month of pregnancy when she had JJ.
Well, that explains
his golf proclivity was inherited from that. How about that for a nugget?
I think that explains his rhythm, the rhythm of his swing. It's his mother playing golf.
He needs to. And I feel, I know where he's coming from on these putts because I have had that problem. I get on fast greens and I'm afraid to hit him.
Oh.
I just don't want to get. I just not aggressive on fast greens. And he has a similar thing. I mean, his greens are fast, but I notice it more on the weekends with him in the past. It's hard. It's a hard game. So
yes, it is.
He's putted fabulous all week, and then today, the last green he left that one short when he needed it. So it's a new day. But look,
who are you?
They're all one bad tee shot away from making a double or worse, and totally falling out of the race. So be smart. Don't bet. There's no way drinking Bushwood, people.
Okay.
That's today's moral. Don't bet.
Don't bet.
Like me. Don't bet.
Thank you, Gary.
Okay. See you tomorrow, perhaps.
Perhaps.